Brunello 2015, what do you think about this wine?
I'm still getting to grips with it because I'm not sure. I'm finding some wines that are quite ripe, some wines that are quite fresh. I guess my bias, I'm looking more towards freshness than just sheer power. But I think there's some good wines there, some good wines.
Actually, everybody said that 2015 in Toscana is a great vintage. So I thought that Brunello must be really big and bold, but it was not. It's well, some of the wines are bold, but most of them are really juicy, very well concentrated fruit. They're amazing. I really love them. And of course, the structure is very firm. But because the fruit is so ripe and concentrated, it is well balanced with the farm structure. So I think consumers can drink Brunello di Montalcino right away. But I think this 2015 will have very good aging potential as well. Very good. Yeah, I was really deeply moved. I love it.
2015 is a very good vintage, I think so. As everybody said before, we tasted the wines. And I think it's nearly the same as the vintages before, where you have a good winemaker, you have good wine. So that's an easy thing. So if you're long enough together with the winemakers and tasting Brunello, you know which winemakers are the best and doing very well. So it doesn't matter if it's 2012, 2013 or 15. I think more or less you have the same selection of good wineries and good wines. So it's always first class, second class, third class, as in every wine region of the world. And the vintage helps. And maybe there are more wines in the second class than the years before.
So I might say something that's a little bit different from what I suspect my colleagues might have said, what many winemakers have said to me. 2015 is supposed to be an amazing vintage across the board. It is amazing, but not universally so. In fact, even more than in 2014, I think 2015 shows the best winemakers and the best terroir in Montalcino, and there are some absolutely spectacular wines, but there are also some wines that are a little bit disappointing, I have to say. So it's a vintage I think you really need to choose carefully and find your producer, and then also find the style that works for you. So variable, but some tremendous highlights.
First of all, I do like it. Of course, probably the impressions were over high, and the vintage is slightly less good as we thought initially, but considering the last three vintages, definitely it's the best, and probably it's the second best after the 2010. So still, considering the very hot vintage, it has a normal acidity, lots of the ripened but not over-ripened fruits, and it's should be really be awarded by the consumers. So it's very nice vintage.